Oh god, no! Get it off my screen! Hello everybody and welcome to part 2 of us discovering some of the lore. Okay, we'll do a retake. Well, anyways, you guys have seen the title. We're here to learn some lore about the Marvel Rivals characters and their skins, so let's just get into it. Oh, but before we do, make sure to go support the OG video if you haven't already. Link to that is at the very top of the description, as always. The moon!
Moon Knight was created by Doug Mensch and Don Perlin. His first appearance was in Werewolf by Night number 32 in 1975. Mark Spector is the son of a rabbi and served as a Marine and CIA operative before becoming a mercenary. After being killed by Raoul Bushman, he was resurrected by the moon god Khonshu and became Moon Knight. To gather information, he adopts multiple personalities: billionaire Stephen Grant, cab driver Jake Lockley, and detective Mr. Knight. It's later.
My question is the billionaire personality, does that mean he actually has that kind of money? Or does he just act like he has that kind of money?
I've never read Moon Knight before, so I actually have no idea, but that's a great question.
Like, just the description, billionaire personality. Is it like, you know, when you go to a party and you're just like a middle level income family and you're just like, yeah, that was a great joke. But then when you become a millionaire personality, you're like, that was hilarious, dude. Whoa. You know, like that kind of personality, or maybe Khonshu conjures up money for him.
I don't know. I like that theory though, that it's
He just has the rich guy laugh.
All acting. Yeah.
Revealed that Spector has dissociative identity disorder, with the Grant and Lockley alters originating in his childhood. Moon Knight possesses enhanced brain function after being resurrected by the moon and Khonshu, granting him telepathic resistance and immortality, leading to him having died and been brought back to life multiple times. His skills include expert martial arts, piloting, detective work, interrogation, and marksman abilities, as well as proficiency with almost every kind of weapon. His Golden Moonlight variant is a Rivals original recoloring which is highly reminiscent of Batman. His Blood Moon variant is also a Rivals recoloring which incorporates a mixture of black.
When Batman and Marvel Rivals, when we already have Batman. Batman at home.
We have Batman at home.
Oh god.
I don't know that I would have said that reminds me of Batman, but people really like to say that Moon Knight is like Marvel's Batman, and I really don't get it.
I don't see it either.
Other than just the whole like
the vigilante thing, yeah.
Well, and like the moon star, like whatever you call those things, kind of look like his Batman things that he throws.
Oh, the batarangs, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But like, that's kind of the only similarity I can see between the two of them. I don't know.
Hey, he's got the billionaire personality, just like Batman. There you go. Easy.
Red and white. The Mr. Knight variant first appeared in Secret Avengers number 10 in 2010 and is one of Spector's alters. Mr. Knight is often used by Moon Knight to interact with law enforcement, as Moon Knight's vigilante status and extreme violence makes him less than welcome with the authorities. The Fits of Vengeance variant is based on Moon Knight's Marvel Cinematic Universe counterpart from his Disney Plus series. The Lunar General variant was introduced to celebrate the Chinese New Year. This version of Moon Knight is a powerful guardian from the divine city of Kunlun. As the invincible general of Kunlun, he stands as a formidable defender of the Moon Palace.
Whenever Kun is mentioned, I just think of Tower of God.
True.
Man, it's been a while.
Though he says it is very funny, but Kunlun is associated largely with Iron Fist.
Oh, I see. Okay. So it's an actual place in the lore for Marvel. Gotcha. Namor, or Namor, or however you want to say it.
Namor was created by Bill Everett and debuted in Marvel Comics #1 in 1939, which was the first comic book from Timely Comics, the precursor to Marvel. During the golden age of comic books, he was one of Timely's top 3 characters, alongside Captain America and the original Human Torch. King Namor Mackenzie is the ruler of Atlantis. He is a mutant hybrid, born to a human father, Leonard, and an Atlantean princess, Fen.
It's really funny because I never knew about Namor until Marvel Rivals, and I'm like, oh, that's Marvel's Aquaman. Despite Namor pretty much, I'm pretty sure he came first, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
He's one of the few cases where Marvel's like variant, I guess, actually is the original.
He hasn't really appeared in many movies, has he? I think he appeared in one of the Black Panther movies.
Yeah, he's in one of the Black Panther movies, but that's it.
Well, that's unfortunate. I guess it's for the best that, you know, the cancerous squids are kept to Marvel rivals. You don't have to see them on screen. God.
He's an interesting character. I was reading some of his 2024 comic run. You can tell from Marvel Rivals, doesn't have the most likable personality.
Oh yeah, nobody really enjoys being with him. They just tolerate him for the most part.
In the comic that I was reading, having your main character just be an absolute asshole is really it's interesting. I was enjoying the run first. I didn't read too much far into it, but he is an interesting dude.
I find that a more difficult way to write your main character, because you usually want your audience to be behind your main character and their motivations and what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you write them as just an asshole, then like, what do you latch on to?
I mean, that was the main reason I dropped Ajin, was because I could not stand the MC. Like, the story was interesting and like some of the side characters were cool, but I'm like, I can't keep reading this. He pisses me off every chapter.
But does Namor have any redeemable qualities? I'm sure he probably has a few down deep in there.
He's got kind of a sad backstory, and you've seen him fail a lot. So, like in the 2024 run that I was reading, it's kind of him after he's kind of had the weight of all of his previous actions, and he's kind of in a situation where he was forced to go and basically make up for it, which was fairly compelling for him. But yeah, I think there's a reason you don't see him in too much media outside the comics.
But does he still want to marry Sue?
None of the comics I've read, that's been a plot point. So, but I haven't read too many. It's a joke that I'm pretty tired of in Rivals, so I'll be honest.
Every single time she's on the team, he's got to make a comment about it.
Every time I play Namor, it's like I just keep hearing about Sue Storm. I'm like, shut up. Please stop talking. And I thought it would be over because, you know, Sue's out, he's out. What more could this conversation go? And then they give him a voice line with Emma Frost talking about fucking Sue Storm. I'm like, can you stop, please?
I don't recall that line, but I do recall the line where Emma is kind of fed up with Namor.
Well, basically, he says she's pretty. And she's like, oh, that's nice. He goes, you would be almost as pretty as Sue Storm.
What the fuck?
You should have stopped talking.
You say that to Emma? Bro, you are dead.
Namor first interacted with the human world when he joined the invaders during World War II. After years as a homeless amnesiac, he was found by the Fantastic Four, who helped him regain his identity and reclaim his throne.
Wait, so the Fantastic Four helped you, and now you're trying to break up their marriage? Nunny?
Throughout his journey, Namor has alternated between being a foe and ally to the surface world, working with heroes like the Defenders and X-Men, as well as villains like Doctor Doom and the Cabal. Ultimately, his loyalty lies with Atlantis and its people. Namor is a complex and often misunderstood character, marked by arrogance, pride, and impulsiveness. He believes himself superior to others, resents asking for help, and is quick to anger, often demanding rather than requesting. Despite these flaws, he has a strong sense of justice, frequently siding with the oppressed, and is willing to sacrifice himself to save innocence.
Yeah, redeemable
While he may not
qualities.
openly express it, Namor has respect for certain individuals, including Cyclops, Captain America, and Reed Richards.
What? Well, the way you talk to him really doesn't seem like it. Wow.
I mean, the way you talk to anyone doesn't seem like it.
So you're telling me that Namor is just a big tsundere? Aw, isn't that cute? Does not express himself.
Namor possesses a unique combination of mutant and Atlantean physiology, granting him a range of superhuman abilities. He has superhuman strength, speed, agility, stamina, reflexes, and durability, which are enhanced while submerged in water. Namor also has accelerated healing, radiation absorption, and advanced longevity, remaining in his physical prime despite his centuries of life. His Mauve Submariner variant is a Rivals original recoloring, as is his Will of Galacta variant. His Savage Submariner variant is inspired by the outfit he first dons in Submariner number 67, published in 1968. In that story, after being forced to flee Atlantis, Namor is caught in a nerve gas explosion that damages his ability to breathe air. Therefore, Reed Richards creates a special suit for Namor that allows him to breathe air once again. His Wakanda Forever variant is based on his Marvel Cinematic Universe counterpart from the film Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Penny Parker was created by Gerard Way and Jake Wyatt, first appearing in the comic Edge of Spider-Verse number 5 in 2014, and is an alternate version of Spider-Man from an Evangelion-inspired universe. Penny pilots the Spider, a psychically powered...
Our channel is called The Legit Weebs, but I don't think anybody has ever watched Ava. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah,
none of us have, yeah.
I watched the first couple episodes. That's the farthest I got.
Same here. I got so annoyed at the main character that I just couldn't continue. Like, I understand that's kind of the point of his character, but I also have limited free time that I want to spend watching things that I enjoy, so... Maybe if I stuck with it, I would enjoy it. But I know that it's like, there's a big meme about even Ava fans don't know what the heck happened at the ending, so... I don't know.
I need... Some of the reactors I like have watched Ava. Maybe I just need to sit down and watch it through them.
Maybe, yeah. Just watch it with a friend. Help you get through it.
Yes, my parasocial relationship, yes.
Yes!
Mech suit once used by her father, which is partially controlled by a radioactive spider that shares a psychic link with Penny. She has been a regular active duty hero since she was 9 years old. Her Olive Skimmer variant...
Nunny?
Yeah.
That started a bit young. I'm assuming you lost the father when she was young then, and so she sort of took up his mantle? Or was the father just an engineer?
Yeah, that I don't know, actually, if he was a hero or not, but definitely she got the mech when she was young in the spider.
Was the mech made for her? Or was her father just constructing one?
Again, I don't know.
I guess the father was just a weeb, and he was making his own Ava suit.
Yeah.
It is a Rivals original green recoloring of the character. Her Blue Tarantula variant is another Rivals original recoloring. The in-game lore states that it is inspired by the extinct blue baboon tarantula, a spider from Socotra Island that
very much actually these variants are based on the Ava.
They are,
robots.
but bro said that there's actually a blue tarantula that went extinct. That's kind of awesome. But also unfortunate to the tarantulas.
Awesome that it went extinct, yes.
Oh, no! Oh, man. Yeah. I know your dislike of spiders. I used to have arachnophobia, too. But after, I guess, I got used to them. Also, about the fact that, like, I hated bugs more. So I prefer, like, one spider over several bugs. Well, yeah.
Actually, I'm the opposite. I don't like bugs, but I would much rather deal with bugs than spiders.
Damn.
Did a mysterious blue glow before vanishing in the 2070s. Penny's father had a fascination with this arachnid, and it left a lasting impact on Penny during her childhood, influencing the suit's aesthetic. Her Venom variant...
Okay, never mind. It wasn't actually a spider. It went extinct in the comics. Slightly less cool. Batman did not like the blue tarantula going extinct.
Is based on a different mech, which Penny encountered in Edge of Spider-Geddon number 2, published in 2018. Venom is a next-gen...
Spider-Geddon? What? What is that?
Spider-Geddon.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I probably would have made the same mistake. Not gonna lie.
It's understandable.
Built from the spider suit and enhanced with the biomechanical
for a second.
engine, and initially proved highly compatible with its pilot, Addie Brock. However,
Nani? Brock? Oh, it's like a alternate Venom version, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
During a battle with the kaiju Morbius, the Venom...
What? What? What did you say? Excuse Kaiju Morbius? Oh god, now I need to see the kaiju saying the line.
I don't know what that looks like, but I want to know.
It's
wonder if I can
Morbin time.
However, during a battle with the kaiju Morbius, the Venom suit began to act autonomously, revealing that it had always been in control.
Ooh. Damn.
It's kind of cool looking.
Oh, send it to me. Oh my god. It's Morbin time. Hell yeah. I should have expected it though. Like the whole Japanese aesthetic and kaijus being a thing, yeah. They obviously have it in, especially with the Ava mech suits. Oh, and we did talk about this in the first part, but we will be skipping the Psylocke section because we're talking about the wrong Psylocke here, unfortunately. We shall do another video on Psylocke later.
Rocket Raccoon was created by
Satan.
Peter Mantlo and Keith Giffen. First,
It's just that, and then underneath it a picture of Rocket. True! I agree!
No!
This little bugger keeps running around, you can't even hit him.
appearing in Marvel Preview number 7 in 1976. Rocket Raccoon is a genetically and cybernetically enhanced raccoon from Half-World in the Keystone Quadrant, where animals were made sentient by machines. Once a freelance mercenary, he became a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wait, animals were made sentient by machines, so is this like a Terminator situation? Skynet situation? But then they were like, we need to make sentient beings, so we turn the animals into ones?
The details of it, I don't know, but yeah, he was an experiment, basically, but made him.
So is he actually a raccoon? He keeps saying that he's not, but he clearly is.
He doesn't know what a raccoon is.
Oh my god. Okay, that's the crux of it. Gotcha.
And is known for having one of the best tactical minds in the galaxy. Rocket Raccoon possesses
Makes sense.
range of enhanced physical and mental abilities due to his genetic and cybernetic modifications. His raccoon physiology
I thought it was
grants him
just
heightened
the
senses,
raccoon.
such as
Yeah.
superior vision in darkness, an acute sense of smell, and enhanced hearing. Genetically enhanced intelligence allows him to communicate across species, pilot spacecraft, craft
the-
complex weaponry, and develop advanced tactics.
Don't look at the gameplay.
He has augmented strength, durability, agility, and reflexes, enabling him to wield heavy weapons, survive severe damage which would otherwise kill him, and move with extreme speed and precision. He is also one of the few individuals
The
who can
extreme speed and
understand
precision
brute
was me running around the pillar as they were trying to kill me.
Yeah, I do feel that every single time I'm trying to shoot a rocket. Man, that little guy can scamper all across the walls. It's kind of insane.
Honestly, one of my favorite reasons to play Rocket.
The variant is a Green and Black Rivals original recoloring of the character. His Bounty Hunter variant is a Rivals original, which is a Wild West inspired variant, giving him old school tech and cowboy attire.
Finally
His
got a
Wild
new
Winter
Rocket
variant-
skin, so I don't have to just play the cowboy one.
Oh, the summer one?
Yeah, I love it.
I think it looks cute. It's just the BRB device is super noticeable now. But
It is, but I don't care.
Is a winter inspired skin which gives him skiing attire along with a Santa hat. His Guardians of the Galaxy 3 variant is inspired by his Marvel Cinematic Universe counterparts outfit from the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 film. The
No more
Scarlet
mutants.
Witch was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. She first appeared in the X-Men #4 in 1964. Wanda Maximoff, also known as
I don't know. All these old comic book illustrations are just so cute. Like,
Yeah.
they're really cool ideas, but maybe not like the most insane art out there. However, the story is still being able to be told through that.
I've read a few of the like older comics that are in this kind of art style, and they're fun. But it's definitely a different era of comics, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Classic, like the first run of 2099 Spider-Man is kind of like this. Not quite as much as this, but it's in kind of more this style.
I mean, you could say the same thing about other forms of media as well, like movies back in the day
Yeah.
were very kind of campy. you could see the evolution of them as time went on, and I would say it's pretty comparable to how comic books have evolved.
Magic to alter reality. As an orphan, she obtained a great deal of power alongside her twin brother Quicksilver when they were enhanced by the High Evolutionary. After starting off with Magneto's Brotherhood of Evil, the pair later joined the Avengers. Wanda was trained by Agatha Harkness and eventually married Vision, even having magic.
Wait, trained by Agatha. I don't know this character. I just know that there's a TV series called Agatha All Along or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it about this? Like her training Scarlet?
Kind of. No, it's basically just about Agatha and her kind of history, but there's a different witch in it that she kind of takes under her wing at the end of it.
They conceived twin sons, but the family was only illusory, and the loss of the family
Agatha All Along has one of
severe-
my favorite episodes ever also in it. Episode 7 is just everything that I love and everything just wrapped up into one perfect episode.
mental breakdowns for Wanda. This would cause the Avengers' disbandment and the rewriting of reality in House of M, resulting in the mass depowering of mutants around the globe.
I feel like House of M is something I gotta check out, considering how much it's mentioned. Just like Krakoa.
I'm sure we could find a good video on both House of M and Krakoa. They're pretty major events in the X-Men universe, or in comics.
The story itself just sounds like something I'd be into as well. It seems like a complete upheaval of the status quo, and just how reality works in general.
She created the waiting room to help revive lost mutants. She now runs a witchcraft shop called the Emporium and continues serving as an Avenger. The Scarlet Witch.
The witchcraft shop? What do you get there? You go there and you're like, I want this boy to fall in love with me, and then she's like, bam, stab, change reality. That kind of thing?
I doubt it. Post House of M, she's very much trying to, like, on that redemption path.
Oh, so instead of doing that, she's doing like Kiki's delivery service. Gotcha.
Which is one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe. Wielding a unique combination of chaos magic, witchcraft, and probability manipulation. Bonded to the chaos demon Chthon, she possesses
House
the
of
ability...
M in Avengers Children's Crusade. Billy is trying to find her because he wants to like reunite with her and figure out what all happened.
Billy, I'm assuming, is a son?
Yes, yeah. Billy and Tommy are her sons.
Okay, now
but
here's my question.
Finding her.
Oh, you go ahead. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You ask first.
Weren't the children illusionary? So
yes.
How does she actually have children?
Comics and MCU are slightly different, but in the comics, it's kind of plucks their souls and manifests them as her children. But there's this kind of complicated tie with Mephisto. Mephisto takes their souls back, and then they have to go and like beat Mephisto and a bunch of nonsense. And eventually, their souls, since they kind of are in existence but don't really have a place, end up basically reincarnating. So you have Billy, William Kaplan, and Tommy Shepard, I think. So they have their own biological birth parents, but are also at the same time the reincarnated sons of the Scarlet Witch.
That's not complicated at all. I'm sure the family tree would work out pretty well once you structure it.
Neither of them, when they were like young, knew that they were related to the Scarlet Witch because technically they're not, but also are.
He mentions this chaos demon Chthon? Is that like what powers Scarlet Witch, or is this just something in her lore?
Scarlet Witch is one of those characters who's been retconned more than just about any other character in Marvel Comics.
Oh, okay. I see.
And her power is among that. I could not give you a definitive answer as to how her powers work or where they come from.
All right. Well, if it's not explained in this video, somebody who's more knowledgeable about the comic books, let me know in the comments. This this might be a contentious point, though. I mean, there are plenty of things like this in 40K, so I'm used to it. It's just, it depends on what you want to believe in at that point.
I mean, she's an interesting character, but yeah, because many writers have had their hands on her, because she's had such major plot points, I guess, there's been a lot of, reinterpretation of just what the origin of her powers are. Because I mean, originally she was introduced more or less as a mutant, as Magneto's daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and she is not a mutant currently in comics. So
What? She said no more mutants and got rid of it herself? From herself?
no, previous to that, she was not a mutant. I think I could, man. I don't know. This is where, like,
So she's a part of the X-Men, but not a mutant.
yeah. Well, she wasn't part of the X-Men.
What? Okay, so she's part of the X-Men lore, not a part of the X-Men. Magneto's daughter.
Yeah.
Magneto does join the X-Men at some point, right?
Yeah.
But she never joins because they're not on good terms.
No, they're not on good terms. And again, in Children's Crusade, both the Avengers and the X-Men are pissed at her and are both trying to hunt her down and kill her, basically.
Okay, so she's just this destructive force of nature within the X-Men lore, who is somebody who destroys reality itself.
Who's capable of altering reality pretty dramatically, yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's why, again, in Children's War is a wild comic, but or Children's Crusade, sorry. They were scared of Billy because he has similar reality warping powers to her, and they're like, "Well, you haven't done anything bad, but she
you could.
has, and we know what she could do.
Mhm.
Therefore, we know what you could do. So we're gonna like lock you up in your bedroom here while we discuss what to do with you."
We'll lock you up in
That's
your
when
bedroom.
Hulkling like breaks him out, and they go off to try and find Wanda, and she's amnesiac and engaged to Doctor Doom.
What the? What? What is going on? Excuse me? Okay, I
It's an
think
interesting comic.
we'll stop it there because I feel like this is going to be an endless rabbit hole of questions for me at this point. I don't know what the heck is going on, but Doom is just that guy. He got that dog in him,
Wait, I have to show you my favorite Doom panel though that comes from that. He ends up basically stealing Wanda Witch, Scarlet Witch, her powers, and just becomes super powerful. But he gets all like sparkly and is all dressed in white. But there's this one panel for some reason where he just has the most blank smiley face, and I love it dearly. My favorite panel in all of comic books.
I'm happy. I'm Doom. Oh, so that's why he wears the mask, because this is what he looks like underneath. I understand now.
Ability to alter reality, warp time, and manipulate elemental, biological, and magical forces. As a Nexus being, she is a living focal point of her universe's energy, capable.
A Nexus being. What does that mean? A focal point of her universe? So if she goes, her
Yeah.
universe dies?
Kinda.
I know that you didn't watch the Deadpool and Wolverine yet, but I think there
Yeah.
was something like that in that movie about like Wolverine being that, but
I would believe
I
that.
can't remember it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know that I could explain it super well, but yeah, the Nexus being basically just means they're kind of that cornerstone for that multiverse or whatever.
Interesting. I don't think we learned about this in the cosmology video. So does that mean
I think
every
it came
single...
up very briefly, if I remember right, but yeah.
Does that mean every single multiverse has one individual in particular that is this Nexus being?
I would assume, but I can't say anything with confidence.
Okay. I wonder how that's chosen.
Of affecting the entire time stream and even resisting fate itself. Wanda has even created her own pocket dimensions and magical constructs, demonstrating
as you
near
do.
limitless potential as both
As
a
a
sorceress and a
D&D
reality
sorcerer
warping
would.
force. Her Nyx Weaver variant is a rival's original recoloring with shades of blue, black, and gray. Her White Witch variant originates from
This
the
one
comic
looks cool.
X-Men The Trial of Magneto #4, published in 2021. The Trial of Magneto is a story which revolves around the supposed murder of Wanda Maximoff, with Magneto as the prime suspect. Her Chaos Gown variant is a Rivals original which is inspired by the theme of the Hellfire Gala. Her Emporium
I don't know why
Matron
they
variant
made a
originates.
second Hellfire Gala outfit for her. And her Hellfire Gala, like the actual one, is so good. I don't know. I don't like this Chaos Gown. I think it's kind of ugly.
It It honestly doesn't change her design too much. I don't really feel any reason to get this one, not gonna lie. It's kind of just whatever.
Free. But yeah,
Yeah.
it just feels like a worse version of the actual Hellfire one, which was also free from the Battle Pass, so I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
It's from the comic X-Men Hellfire Gala #1, published in 2020. The outfit she wears in the story becomes her primary outfit, beginning in Scarlet Witch Volume 3, which first began publishing in 2023. Her Multiverse of Madness variant originates from her appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
This one has such a cool MVP animation.
Yeah,
it's like straight from the movie, too. Obviously inspired by, what's her name again? Sadako?
I don't know. I know what you're saying, though.
I forget exactly which horror movie it is, but it's like a classic shot that a lot of horror movies reference.
Yeah.
First film, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Might not be Sadako.
Spider-Man was created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko and first appeared in Amazing Fantasy #50.
This is probably the Marvel hero that I know the most about, potentially.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like one of the first ones that made it to the movie, too. No? The movie screens.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's always been one of the biggest characters for Marvel from his inception, basically.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Stan Lee was worried about making a character themed after spiders. But while his fears are justified, it worked out.
I can see why he was worried, but also Spider-Man's design itself doesn't really invoke any of that fear that people have of spiders. Like, if he had a mask with fangs on it, and he had like 8 legs, maybe.
Any of the Spider Island designs, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He just has like a million eyes on his head. This one is, how should I say, a marketable design. He's very consumer friendly.
Very marketable. You know what's funny? Spider-Man fans, as a huge Spider-Man fan myself, listening to Spider-Man fans talk about costume designs is some of the most obnoxious stuff you've ever heard. No. They're the most opinionated people in the entire world. And you could have 2 costumes where it's like the only design change is that the spider looks slightly different. And they'll be like, this is the most amazing suit you've ever seen, and this is hot garbage that should never have even like breathed any sort of existence. And you're like, they're the same suit.
Like, ultimately, the outline of his suit, it's not gonna change. Like, you can tell that it's still Spider-Man, whether it changes the color or some of the patterns or whatnot, because I feel like his outfit is just really damn good in the first place. There's no reason to change it. Like, stick to the classic. I feel but I don't know, I'm not an expert. That's just an outsider perspective.
I just always think it's funny listening to the discourse over the most minor changes and how opinionated they can be.
No, his crotch should be blue. God damn it. Don't you understand?
In 1962. He is widely regarded as one of the most popular and commercially successful superheroes of all time. Peter Parker, also known as Spider-Man, juggles roles as a student, scientist, and photographer while being a full-time superhero. Orphaned and then...
Like, even without being a superhero, that's a lot. Like, you wouldn't get any sleep.
Raised by his Uncle Ben and Aunt May, Peter gained spider-like powers after being bitten by a radioactive spider. Initially using his powers selfishly, he changed his path after a burglar he let escape killed his Uncle Ben, teaching him the value of...
Oh, this was, when he got the power, he went into, like, a wrestling ring? Is that what happens in the comics? I think that's what happened in the Sam Raimi movies. And he was, like, doing underground fights and stuff like that.
I think that did happen in the comics. It's been a long time since I read the original Spider-Man runs, but yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, on the right here, is that Kraven?
Yeah.
Poor guy. That movie was ill-conceived. They really shouldn't have made it.
I mean, that's true. I'm not a huge Kraven fan, though, so I'm not pressed.
Look, it's just doing damage to characters that don't deserve it. It's like the Morbius movie.
It's a terrible movie. They should have never made it.
Or like
same with all the Madam Web nonsense.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Madam Web, the story itself makes no goddamn sense. And you have to have characters that just sit around doing nothing for several hours in order for it to actually work. Like, they need to hire new writers. But then again, they're not making any movie, so thank God, right? I hope so.
Yeah. very much.
Oh, and I recall the person who actually played as Madame Web. I think she was the main girl from 50 Shades of Grey. But
I have no idea on that. Yeah.
like after the Madame Web, I'm pretty sure her agent got fired.
I believe that.
I suspect that they got such a big actor into such a minor movie like that because the agent was probably like, "Oh, you're gonna be a big Marvel superhero now." No, that's no, that was not the movie to do it in. Nor was it in the Marvel Cinematic Universe either. Yikes.
Yeah.
Responsibility. Since then, he's fought crime as Spider-Man, often working alone, but at times forming alliances with groups like the Avengers and the Fantastic Four. He maintains a large rogue gallery, including Dr. Octopus, Venom, and the Green Goblin, who infamously at one point killed his girlfriend, Gwen Stacy.
No.
His civilian life includes close ties with Mary Jane Watson, Harry Osborn, and his Aunt May, while he often clashes with his boss at the Daily Bugle, editor and...
You've heard me complain about 616 Spidey enough. I won't bring it up again.
You mentioned that in every Marvel video, yes.
I know, because it makes me sad in every video.
I saw this video titled something like, this guy is Mysterio, right? On the bottom right here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the title was something along the lines of the Spider-Man villain with the stupidest design gets the best adaptations, or something like that.
Mysterio is amazing. I love Mysterio so
Yeah.
much. He's one of my favorite villains.
I do recall seeing him in one of the movies, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is the best part of that movie. I love it so much.
I think the character was just built for movies, specifically. Like, the way his powers work, too, it just works great with the special effects.
notorious
No, he's a
Spider-Man
fun
hater,
character.
J. Jonah Jameson. Empowered by the bite from a mutated radioactive spider, Spider-Man possesses a wide range of powers, including enhanced strength, speed, and agility, as well as the spider-like ability to cling to surfaces. He also has a unique precognitive spider sense that alerts him to danger and heightens his reflexes. Beyond his physical gifts, Peter Parker is a scientific genius, having invented his own web shooters and other advanced tech, while having been trained in martial arts by the likes of Captain America and Shang-Chi.
Who? Was
Shang-Chi.
I don't recall who that is. It seems familiar, though.
He has a movie in the MCU. I haven't seen it yet, though.
Yeah, oh, that's right. I haven't seen that movie. But yeah, I do know of the title of it. That's probably where I recognize it from. And also, like, Captain America teaches so many people martial arts. He also taught Hawkeye, Ronin, I guess, in that instance.
He is definitely that character who kind of is set up to mentor all the like younger new heroes coming up.
He is the oldest among them. That makes sense. Well, if you don't count the godlike characters. Like, yeah. Also, in terms of the Spidey gameplay, Spider-Man doesn't hurt people, so this makes sense.
Yeah.
His Chasm variant is actually a modern and corrupted iteration of Peter Parker's clone, Ben Reilly, with Chasm having first appeared in The Amazing Spider-Man number 93 in 2018. Ben Reilly was originally created by the villain Jackal to torment Spider-Man. Though believed to have died after their first clash, Ben survived and lived in exile for 5 years before returning to New York City when Aunt May fell ill. Reconnecting with Peter, he took on the identity of the Scarlet Spider and fought alongside Peter. Later on, Ben became Spider-Man again under the sponsorship of the Beyond Corporation and turned against Peter after the company erased his core memories. Mutated by Apollo.
God damn it, Ben. You're always going around trapping people in your impressive musculature. How dare you?
By the Beyond Company, Ben eventually transformed into the villain known as Chasm.
I mean, the Chasm design is pretty sick, though. At least, well, it's not really represented very well in the game, I feel like, because the whole, like, flame, green monster energy thing that's coming out of him isn't really there. Unfortunate.
It still looks cool in game, though. I like the Chasm suit.
It's a different suit for Spooderman, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
His Scarlet Spider variant is based on the identity of another Peter Parker clone, Kane. Kane was the Jackal's
Kane?
first attempt at cloning Peter Parker and was initially deemed a success, but became deformed and mentally unstable due to a flaw in the cloning process.
Who's this Jackal person we keep
Clone
mentioning?
Wars is a wild mess.
Is that basically like a comic run where there's just a bunch of clones of Spider-Man?
Well, there's the notable clones. There's a long Spider-Man video that goes through a lot of the 616 stuff.
Ooh.
We'll watch it. That
Okay.
it's complicated. I couldn't do it
Gotcha.
justice in this time frame.
to be fair, like we've got so many suggestions for a particular Spider-Man video that is apparently really
yeah,
good.
it's the
So
same one.
yeah.
This is the
We'll
one I'm
check that
thinking
one
of.
out.
Definitely.
Treated as a failed experiment, Kane felt deeply rejected. After the creation of a more stable clone, Ben Reilly, Kane developed a bitter rivalry with him, although he eventually let go of his hatred, even at one point saving Ben's life. While wandering the United States, Kane ended up in Houston, where he saved a young girl from traffickers. Choosing to protect her and those like her, he took on a new heroic identity as the Scarlet Spider and decided to stay and defend the city of Houston. His Spider-Man 2 variant is inspired by Peter Parker from the PS5 Spider-Man 2 video game. His Bagman Beyond variant was inspired by an outfit Peter donned in Amazing Spider-Man number 87 in
I was seeing
2018.
someone talk about it. So the original Bombastic Bagman outfit is him with the paper bag wearing the Fantastic Four uniform.
Mhm.
And no one can actually use that suit because of just the sheer copyright hell nonsense that it's in right
no.
now. So Sony can't use it, Fox can't use it, Marvel can't use it, which is why we've ended up getting so many different versions of the Bombastic Bagman suit.
Like at least the idea is still there. It is just
Yeah.
very unfortunate. I'm pretty sure I heard something about that too. He was visiting the Fantastic Four Tower or something like that, which is why he had the shirt on. But yeah,
He's been real close with the Fantastic Four since forever.
apparently they all live in the same place, so it makes sense.
I think it would be really funny if they added the Future Foundation suits for Pete, Sue, and Richards and didn't give one to Johnny and left all the non-comic book readers to wonder why Johnny didn't get one.
Also, what's this Future Foundation you talk about?
It's a cool white suit.
A lab coat, you mean?
No.
Damn.
In the story, after the Beyond Corporation acquired the Spider-Man trademark, they recruited Ben Reilly as their corporate bag
Trademark?
Spider-Man, sidelining Peter Parker. Peter was left unable to protest after a staged
my.
fight with the UFOs left him comatose from radiation poisoning, only surviving thanks to a cure anonymously provided by Dr. Octopus. Upon waking, Peter was told by Black Cat and Captain America that he couldn't return as Spider-Man until he proved he was ready. Eager to return, Peter learned that Mary Jane had entrusted his suit to Black Cat, who refused to give it back, while Ben Reilly was still actively Spider-Man, leaving Parker to swing around in street clothes and a paper bag.
The midriff shirt, though, damn.
Well, if you got it, you might as well show it.
Mhm.
But also, Black Cat and Marvel Rivals win.
Honestly, yeah, she'd be cool.
I wouldn't mind it, certainly.
His Spider-Punk 2099 variant is a Rivals original costume which blends elements of the 2099 setting with the Spider-Punk character from Earth 138. His Spider-Oni variant is a Rivals original with an interesting mythological story behind its inspiration. On a dark night atop Kurosaki Mountain, a newborn orphan by the Great Snake's attack was rescued and raised by the yokai
Apparently,
spider spirit.
Momoke is getting another comic run around Rivals, which is exciting.
Nice.
Zorogumo. Growing up among supernatural beings, the child came to believe in peaceful coexistence between humans and yokai. As he matured, he became a guardian of the mountain, protecting all who needed help. When a yokai hunter killed his adoptive mother, rather than seek vengeance, he strengthened his commitment to his ideals, honoring her legacy through compassion and justice. His No Way Home variant is inspired by the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Spider-Man outfit from the film Spider-Man No Way Home.
All right. Cool yokai tie-in.
Squirrel Girl, real name Doreen.
Oh, God, no! Get it off my screen!
Doreen was created by Will Murray and Steve Ditko.
I'll hide
She
behind
first
you.
appeared in Marvel Superheroes Volume 2, Number 8 in 1991. Murray created her to bring a more lighthearted tone to comics, contrasting with the darker stories
man.
which were popular at the time. Despite her seemingly silly powers,
It's just
Squirrel
like
Girl
the
has an
ears aren't real.
Wait, they're not? Does she just
No.
wear like a hair clip?
It's a headband, yeah.
Oh god. She just but is the tail real?
Yeah, the tail's real.
What a weird detail. So this is one of those situations where like, are you okay with the animal girl who actually has human ears and a set of animal ears?
Double ears.
Double. For double the hearing.
I think double ears is fine.
Who cares? Well, you know, if the design is cute, it works.
I like weird body horror monsters with multiple ears, so like, why not give a cute animal girl multiple ears?
Oh god, of course you would.
Defeated some of the most powerful and iconic characters in the Marvel Universe. Her list of victories includes Doctor Doom, Thanos, MODOK, Spider-Man, Captain America, Hawkeye, Wolverine, Deadpool, Magneto, and even cosmic threats like Ego the Living Planet and the One Below All.
The One Below All too? What the fuck? Is Squirrel Girl gonna punch up to the One Above All at some point in the future?
She's definitely not my favorite character, but you know, I can see why people like her. I guess she's fun. I don't know.
She's very round and fluffy, okay? But also, I wonder what the power scaling community thinks of Squirrel Girl. That would be an interesting conversation.
I don't like listening to the power scaling community in general. Something I try to avoid actively.
I recall on like the first video that we did, there were comments from the power scaling community talking about how ignorant you were. How dare you not care?
I feel like listening to them talk and actually like argue about the One Above All in power scaling terms, I'm just like, I can't. I can't listen to this. I'm so sorry.
I think it's fine to find your own fun when it comes to any source of media. If you enjoy power scaling, go for it, man. Have fun.
But they can do whatever they want. I just don't want any part of it.
Yeah, don't come around here talking about how other people are ignorant because they don't enjoy the same thing that you do. That's just kind of weird.
Squirrel Girl has a variety of squirrel-like powers which grant her superhuman strength, speed, agility, which she calls her squirrel-agility, reflexes, and a jaw strong enough to bite through steel. She is also capable of fluently communicating with squirrels, who understand her even when she speaks English. She is a remarkably skilled hand-to-hand combatant, having once beaten Wolverine in a fair fight.
Did that rocket just walk off the ledge? They did.
It sure did, yeah. Rocket, what are you doing?
Her Arctic Lemus variant is a blue-themed Rivals recoloring of the character. Her Cheerful Dragoness variant is another Rivals original, which depicts Squirrel Girl as a squirrel deity who resides in the forests of Kun.
Does she
but
have...
To be fair, a lot of her comic looks are unappealing. So.
Damn!
You're the one who reacted so strongly when the section opened.
Okay, look, that was the OG one, right? The other ones looked okay. They looked a lot better.
They're fine. I think it's her newer ones that I think look cute. But some of the older ones are all just kind of... the fur vest is just... It's a choice.
Wasn't this the skin that you were talking about where people were like saying that this isn't punk, but then it's also like contradictory to what punk is supposed to be?
Whenever people try to police what is or isn't punk, it always cracks me up. Because, like, the entire point of punk is to not be defined by rules.
Although one could assume the character would reside on Earth-138 alongside Spider-Punk and his allies. Her Urban Hunter variant is inspired by Squirrel Girl's appearance in the US Avengers comics, which began publishing in 2017.
What am I looking at in this picture? Who are these people?
I don't know this run, but this is quite the...
Is that Red Hulk with a mustache using guns?
Yeah.
Is that 10 female Captain America and massive buff Iron Man?
I don't know who either of those variants are, but it's this is
no, that's probably
for
Patriot
sure.
because he has the gun on the back. Or she? I don't know. There's a lot going on in this picture. I have a lot of questions.
I don't know.
Star-Lord, also known as Peter Jason Quill, is a Marvel Comics superhero who first appeared in Marvel Preview number 4 in
This was the original design. Given Star-Lord's current personality, I can't imagine that personality with this design.
God, they're very different characters, but yeah.
Okay. So this is just like the conception of the Guardians of the Galaxy, the previous version that didn't really sell very well, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay. And the current Star-Lord that we know is part of the change. Gotcha.
1976. Created by Steve Englehart and Steve Gahn, he is the son of a human, Meredith Quill, and an alien, Jason of the Spartoi race. After his mother was killed in an alien attack when he was 10, Peter swore revenge and ventured into space, where he was raised by Yondu and the Ravagers. Though he started off among space pirates, Peter turned away from their criminal ways and embraced a heroic path as Star-Lord. He later formed the Guardians of the Galaxy with Rocket Raccoon, Groot, Gamora, and Drax. Along the way, he discovered his long-lost sister, got engaged to and broke up with Kitty Pryde, and eventually gained cosmic powers as the Master of the Sun. As a hybrid...
Damn, that's unfortunate, man. I find it interesting that the Marvel Rivals version picked the blue jacket instead of the red. I think the red fits him better, but I guess blue is more closer to the design, OG design.
Blue kind of goes more comic origins, whereas red is more like post-movie. They're definitely playing a lot more into the Nova Corps stuff in Rivals.
Nova Corps?
Now you see them in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
I guess I don't remember them very well, unfortunately.
They kind of get done dirty after the first, well, actually even in the first movie. But they're the ones on the planet where Ronan is attacking.
I might have to rewatch the Guardians of the Galaxy movies then.
I mean, it's never a bad time to rewatch the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Yeah, I guess so. They were pretty damn good.
Hybrid of human and Spartaxian royalty, Quill possesses enhanced physical abilities, advanced longevity, and enhanced durability, reflexes, and regeneration. His powers were significantly amplified after absorbing energy from the Olympian gods, transforming him into the Master of the Sun, and granting him new, mysterious abilities such as gravitational flight, radiant energy projection, cosmic awareness, and resistance to telepathy. His gear includes an advanced space helmet with translation, oxygen, and remote piloting capabilities, and his iconic element guns, which can manipulate the four classical elements.
Most people like post-MCU Quill more than the original comics, but of the original comics, people like the element guns and kind of wish he could keep those. There's a line in Rivals where he talks about elements and stuff like with his weapons, but they don't have the element weapons in his Rivals. It's kind of funny.
I don't know what the exact line is. It's like eat elements or something like that.
Yeah.
His jovial Star variant is a recoloring inspired by Star-Lord's appearance in his solo comic series Legendary Star-Lord, which began publishing in 2014. The Lion's Mane variant is a Rivals original, which is inspired by traditional Chinese garments paired with a lion's mask.
I like this.
His King of Spartax variant is inspired by his royal garments from Guardians of the Galaxy #1 in 2015.
This is a good costume too.
In that story, following the overthrow of his malevolent father from the throne of Spartax, Peter Quill was voted as the new King of Spartax, a reluctant position for the space adventurer. His Master of the Sun variant originates from the comics Guardians of the Galaxy #9 and #10, published in 2020. When the Dark Olympians began causing chaos across the universe, Nova sought the Guardians of the Galaxy's help, interrupting their break on Half-World. While some Guardians, including Gamora, declined to join due to personal reasons, Peter and Rocket joined Nova's team to take down New Olympus. The mission succeeded, but Peter had to manually trigger a black hole, trapping himself in New Olympus outside of reality. Following this, he absorbed power from the Dark Olympians and began experiencing visions of an alien named Ragnar, and these events awakened new abilities in Quill and earned him the title Master of the Sun. His Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 variant is inspired by his look in the Marvel Cinematic Universe film of the same name. Storm was created by Len Wein and Dave Cockrum and first appeared in Giant Size X-Men #1 in 1975.
Giant-sized
Orphaned
X-Men.
as a child, Aurora Monroe became a thief in Cairo before journeying through Africa and settling in Kenya, where locals worshipped her as a goddess. Recruited by Professor Xavier, she joined the
No.
X-Men.
If a strong, beautiful woman who could control the elements just kind of descended upon me, valid. I probably would too.
Especially in the more superstitious countries. That's kind of just how it's gotta go. Like, you remember Shinobu's backstory in Monogatari when she like fell into the massive lake and then it just shot up all the water and ended up making rain fall down during the drought? So if anybody gives anything that is nigh impossible to anyone else, they're probably going to think you have some sort of super special powers and you're some being from the heavens or something along those lines. So the fact that Storm could do all of this, and I'm pretty sure she could likely do this ever since she was a kid. Well, maybe not to like the extent that she can now in the comics.
Whenever her mutant gene activated, which I don't know her backstory that much, but I assume it's probably young.
Well, like judging from the description here, like working as a thief and going through the different countries, I'm assuming this is more of like a street rat sort of story where she's like, just surviving on her own until the X-Men discover her or something like that. Oh, well, so I would assume that, it kicked in early. But like, dang, you won the jackpot on this one.
And became one of their most prominent leaders. Storm eventually formed her own X-Men team and joined the Avengers, and served as Queen of Wakanda through her marriage to Black Panther. As an Omega-level mutant, she has near limitless control over weather and atmospheric phenomena on Earth and beyond. In addition to her supernatural gifts, Storm is a skilled thief, combatant, and leader, with an indomitable will strong enough to resist top telepaths and even host the cosmic entity Eternity. Her ivory breeze
What? You hosted Eternity in your body?
I don't know what
happened?
that means, but that sounds crazy.
Yeah, right? I don't think anybody could just talk to Eternity. That is that's on a completely different level. But then again, she has to be on that level because her husband literally just told the universe's force of law to obey him. So, yeah, makes sense.
variant is inspired by the all-white uniform Storm first began wearing in X-Men #1, published in 1991.
She looks good in white.
Her Mohawk Rock variant is a
prefer
punk
white
rock-inspired
more,
appearance
actually.
she first donned in 1981 in the comic Uncanny X-Men #173. Her Goddess of Thunder variant comes from a 1970s
cool.
story found in the pages
I like
of
the cotton
X-Men
candy
Annual
hair.
#9. In the story, sometime
taste
after
it.
losing her powers, Loki exploited Storm's feelings of powerlessness by enchanting her with Asgardian magic and giving her a magical hammer called Stormcaster, similar to Mjolnir. Empowered once again, Storm gained control over lightning and thunder and, under Loki's influence, used her new powers against the X-Men.
Damn it.
Dang
Of
it,
course.
Loki.
Wait, Loki just comes in and screws up everything for everyone. And then at the end of the day, he saves the day. Like, what the heck? Bro, this guy.
The Punisher, created by Jerry Conway,
The
John Romita,
Punisher.
and Ross Andrew, first appeared in The Amazing Spider-Man #129 in 1974, where he was originally introduced as an assassin and enemy of Spider-Man. Lieutenant Francis Frank Castle.
I feel like there's so many iconic like superheroes and villains that were introduced through a Spider-Man comic. Because I'm pretty sure Cloak and Dagger also came from a Spider-Man
Yep.
comic. They're just like branching out from the main series. I guess that would be the tactic, no? Like
That's
if you
pretty
have
common, yeah.
a really popular superhero or a particular comic that you know is going to sell, then yeah, introduce a character that might work out in those comics and see where it
I feel
goes.
Most common is branching from Spider-Man, X-Men, or Fantastic Four, usually.
Is an Italian-American former Marine who served in multiple tours, earning several military honors. After his wife Maria and children Lisa and Frank Jr. were killed for witnessing a mafia hit,
Frank
he became the
Jr.
vigilante known as the Punisher. Marked by the skull symbol on his chest, he dedicated his life to eradicating organized crime. Frank uses extreme methods, including murder, kidnapping, extortion, violence, and torture in his fight against crime. His ruthless approach and readiness to kill make him one of
I
the
like
most
just
dangerous.
how much of a unit they made him in Rivals.
He's so chunky.
He's so big.
I understand it also might be for a gameplay reason. because, yeah, it makes him a little easier to hit, a little more susceptible. You got to be real careful with positioning. But I guess lore-wise, it also makes sense. Like, dude's a military guy. He's been through hell and back and survived. And also is the guy who just looked at the penance stare and said, "I regret nothing." That was kind of insane, man. I saw the comic book panel in the death battle with Ghost Rider when they were going through his lore. And like Punisher just looked at him. Yeah, I did that. Damn.
Individuals alive. He possesses peak human conditioning, and his high pain tolerance and durability allow him to survive extreme conditions.
This is
He
peak
is an
male
expert in
performance.
hand-to-hand combat, as well as an expert marksman, pilot, and tactician, with extensive military and special operations training. Despite his extraordinary abilities, he is still a normal human, vulnerable to injury and disease. His camo variant is a rival's original camouflage recoloring of the character. His Thunderbolts variant is inspired by his appearance in the Thunderbolts Volume 2 line of comics, which began publishing in 2012. His Punisher...
You know, it makes sense that he would be a part of that group. Although, I don't think he showed up in the movie, right? I didn't see it yet.
The movie Thunderbolts is actually entirely different from the comic book Thunderbolts.
No. Okay. I didn't know that. Although, I've heard good things about it, so... I guess the changes
one
were
of
good.
my favorite MCU movies, hands down.
Dang. Cool. Yeah,
And I
should...
think Sentry in it might actually be my favorite MCU character out of all of them.
Yeah, no idea about any of that, but yeah, I'll check it out when I can, I guess.
Definitely
The 2099
recommend it.
skin is an alternate universe Punisher named Jacob Gallows, who, in the year 2099, lost his family in a brutal attack ordered by Cron Stone, the psychotic son of businessman Tyler Stone. After recovering, Jake discovers the original Punisher's
My
war
crotch
journal,
piece looks
which challenges the...
uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. Very.
Yeah.
It would be... But, you know, he's out there punishing. He doesn't have time to worry about that.
reader to continue the Punisher's mission. Jake takes up the mantle of the Punisher, fighting unique crimes in his dystopian future. He particularly targets criminals who exploit their wealth to evade justice while also protecting those who can't afford the police services that would otherwise ignore them.
That would make sense in the 2099 universe, considering like the Undercity part of it. Yeah. Also, here's the thing.
The Thing, created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, first appeared in the Fantastic Four #1 in 1961, along with the rest of the Fantastic Four. Ben Grimm, also known as The Thing, was a former astronaut and USAF test pilot. He gained his Rocky super strong form after being exposed to the cosmic radiation aboard the rocket Marvel 1. A central theme of The Thing's story is his struggle to accept his transformed Rocky form, often leading to serious existential crises and severe depression for Ben Grimm.
I don't blame the guy.
No,
This is
not at all.
It reminds me of the soldiers that come back from war but are like horribly disfigured because of like an explosion or a fire or whatever. And the life that they have to live after that and trying to just find peace, it's really hard. It's hard to see.
Yeah.
And I feel so sad for them. War has done this to them. But I can see similarities in their stories here. I'm just glad that I'm not the Thing. I enjoy playing as him, but yeah.
Not only that, but you have Johnny always teasing him.
Of course Johnny does that. What a shithead. God. Because Johnny's a bit of a narcissist, right? Like, he knows he looks good and he flaunts it. Yeah. Just gonna say, I guess you gotta look good if you want to get like a space centipede girlfriend.
Honestly, I think it's cute though. I like it.
I don't know. All I saw were the panels that you shared with me, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't expect that though. That was certainly not on my bingo card.
While known for his immense strength, he also has a sharp mind, capable of operating advanced technology created by Reed Richards. He's a skilled fighter with a unique combat style blending wrestling, boxing, and jiu-jitsu. Additionally, he can play the saxophone.
Yeah!
His first family variant, like the rest of the Fantastic Four, is inspired by Ben's original 1961 look. His trench coat variant is inspired by a scene from the original Fantastic Four #1 comic. In the scene, Grimm, while disguised in a trench coat, visits a haberdashery to find clothes that actually fit him. Before he can shop, the clerk notices a flare signaling for the Fantastic Four, and then quickly leaves.
He's just undercover. That's kind of cute. But also really sad that he has to do that. He feels like he has to. Damn. Either way, the trench coat look is pretty epic. I actually like that skin a lot.
It is. It's so good. Yeah.
I need to see a front line with the thing in that skin and the Hulk with the top hat.
The Mr. Fix-It.
Yeah, the Mr. Fix-It skin. That would be epic.
That would be so good.
Thor Odin's Son was created by
you get a
Jack
Spider-Man
Kirby,
noir skin
Stan
along with
Lee,
it.
and Brandon Lieber, debuting in Journey into Mystery number 83 in 1962. His character closely reflects many aspects of his real-life inspiration, the god of lightning Thor from
Thor's
Norse
been working
mythology.
out ever since then.
Thor is the son of Odin, the god of thunder, and a powerful Asgardian warrior. Wielding the magical hammer Mjolnir, he became the strongest hero across the 10 realms. At one point, Thor was sent to Earth by Odin in the form of a mortal, Don Blake, to learn humility. After learning this lesson, he regained his powers and memories, and from then on became a protector of Earth. He would then go on to become a founding member of the Avengers.
I don't think we ever did this Don Blake story in the MCU, did we? I don't remember the first Thor movie very well.
They modified it. Odin sent him to Earth, but he still had his memories and everything. He just lost his powers.
Okay, gotcha.
Thor possesses a vast array of godlike powers due to his unique heritage as the son of Odin.
It's another character they just
this
made an
makes him
absolute
not only the
unit.
strongest Asgardian physically, but also grants him near invulnerability. He can wield the Odin Force, in his case the Thor Force, boosting his already godly abilities to multiversal levels, capable of reshaping celestial bodies and defeating universe-threatening beings.
Thor is one of those characters in the MCU where in comics his peak is really, really high, and MCU hasn't even hardly hit like a baseline Thor.
By peak, you mean power level?
Yeah, like just Thor at his absolute strongest. So I see people talk about with Sentry and Thunderbolts, right? Who like could anyone beat Sentry? And everyone's like, well, Thor, and it's like, well, peak Thor in comics and Sentry could like go head to head and Thor would win. But MCU Thor doesn't stand a chance.
Interesting. I have no context for like what comic book Thor can do, so or context for what Sentry is and what he can do. I guess this is just like a superhero who can handle multiversal level threats, right? Like he's fighting with the big boys. Punching with gods, literally.
Sentry is kind of one of those characters that people consider like a Superman equivalent-ish. Like his powers aren't the same, but like that level of just, he's not a character that you're worried about winning a fight, really, right?
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll do some research and maybe just watch the movie, honestly. Let's get some more context on Sentry.
It's good. And I really like their interpretation of him. It highlights my favorite parts of Sentry, because I feel like Sentry's comics goes into like some who actually handle like the whole mental health aspect of it and the interesting duality between Sentry and Void. And then there's ones who just kind of use Sentry as the Deus Ex Machina to come in and save the day, which is so just uninteresting.
Depends on the writer, I suppose. If you have a character that powerful, it makes sense.
Very many comics, but
yeah, I've never heard of this guy. Yeah.
Of all the like super powerful, like Superman-esque characters, like Blue Marvel, Hyperion, Malika Man, like all them, I think Sentry is the most interesting by far. But I definitely recommend seeing the movie though. It is good.
Gotcha. I shall see.
Umber variant is a rival's original recoloring featuring dirty blonde hair and darker clothing. His reborn from Ragnarok skin made its first appearance in Thor #1, published in 2007. His Herald of Thunder variant comes from Thor #1, published in 2020, where Thor becomes the Herald of Galactus. In that story, after becoming king of Asgard, Thor grew restless and nostalgic for his days as a hero, with Sif and Loki noticing his unease, and that Mjolnir was growing heavier. His reign was disrupted when a wounded Galactus crash-landed in Asgard, warning of a far greater threat.
What the? Galactus crashed into Asgard and was like, bro, I got beat up. Huh? By who? Ah, shit, here we go again. That's what's going to be going through your mind. Jesus.
The Black Winter, a force that had destroyed the previous universe.
Winter is coming.
To stop it, Galactus needed to consume 5 special planets, and Thor agreed to help evacuate the planets. To keep an eye on him and ensure his cooperation, Galactus gave Thor the power cosmic, making him the new Herald of Galactus. His Lord of Asgard variant is inspired by the threads he dons as—
Oh, wait. Isn't that the skin title for basically all the Galacta skin variations in Rivals? So that's where it comes from, I
Which
guess. The Herald of Galactus. That's kind of like the name for... I'm pretty sure that's the name for all the skin variations for that color for all the other heroes in the game.
For Galacta.
Yeah, for Galacta.
It's playing off of the same thing, but different.
Going through this video, there are so many aspects of the game that I thought were just like gameplay things that are actually just the lore things that they tied into and adapted. Like, I didn't know Celestial was actually a thing.
Came out.
Yeah.
The Rivals devs are such huge comic book nerds, and it shows in every aspect of this game, and that makes me so happy. Like, I can't tell you how many times there's been like a Marvel game or even just other like franchises, right, that have some game put out, and it's like it's so surface level. You could tell that they just don't have that deep of an understanding of the thing that they're adapting, and that can be really disappointing. And usually they're not great, but yeah. No, I like, you can see just how big a comic book fans these devs are.
Yeah. It's always very apparent whenever something that you love and cherish gets adapted by people who don't care about it very much or know about it as much as you do. So, yeah, I feel you on that one. It's like your favorite book getting a movie adaptation and then it just doesn't hit the mark. Completely misses the point of the book.
Source completely.
Yeah, because somebody got the great idea that I can do it better. Sure.
I think of the the only Aragorn movie.
Ooh. The books are peak. Go read the books if you haven't. Movie, not so much.
As the King of Asgard, which occurs in Thor number 60, published in 1998. In the story, after Odin's death in a battle with Surtur, Thor accepted the throne of Asgard and inherited the Odin Force, officially becoming king. His Thor Love and Thunder variant is inspired by his Marvel Cinematic Universe counterpart from the film of the same name.
I think the in-game costume there is the best that costume looks.
I haven't seen that Thor movie, but sure,
I haven't
agree.
Either. I've only heard bad things.
Granted, though, it's like everything in Marvel Rivals looks so damn good because of the art style. They just have really good art direction.
So. Venom is a sentient alien symbiote that bonds with human hosts to survive, granting them enhanced abilities and creating a dual entity. Before we continue, I'd like to ask some of the Marvel fans out there, what did you guys think of the Venom movies? Like, I'm not a huge comic book nerd, but when I watched them, I actually really enjoyed them. They weren't the greatest movies I've ever seen, but they were fun. It was just like
I've only seen the first one, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah. I actually like, what's his name? Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock. That was fun.
I do too.
I think he did really well with the role.
If they ever did bring like Venom and Eddie Brock into the MCU, I would hope they keep Tom Hardy. I enjoyed his performance.
I mean, they even made a direct connection to the universes in Into the Spider-Verse, like with the Venom reference. So you never know.
Into the Spider-Verse is still owned by Sony, but yeah.
Ah, dang. Forgot about that. I wish they would. Venom is just such a fun character. Or at least I realize he's a fun character after watching the Venom movies. He can be that. It's just the other adaptations that I've seen were just him being a monstrous creature.
Been a goober.
Yeah. Like, I think he actually appeared in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, right? with Andrew Garfield Spider-Man? I could be
I don't think so.
misremembering, but I'm pretty
He was in
sure.
the third Sam Raimi movie.
Oh, maybe it's that. Because I do remember a different actor being introduced as Eddie Brock and being like a news reporter trying to compete with Peter. But it might be the Sam Raimi movies. That one was not very interesting, unfortunately. Oh yeah, you're right. It's because that's the one with the Bully Maguire meme and him dancing and yeah. Oh my god.
I don't know if it's the Raimi movie's fault, but I feel like there was a period where people's impressions of Venom was just
he's
big
bad
evil
guy.
Monster.
He's the dark version of Spider-Man.
Not the case, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that we've got Goober Venom back.
First appearing as Spider-Man's alien costume in The Amazing Spider-Man number 252 in 1984, the symbiote then revealed its darker intentions, prompting Spider-Man to reject it. Venom's full debut came in The Amazing Spider-Man number 300 in 1988, when it bonded with Eddie Brock. Though originally portrayed as a villain, Venom gradually evolved into a more complex anti-hero, even teaming up with Spider-Man at times. Following Brock, several characters took on the mantle of Venom, including Mac Gargan, who played a more villainous role, and Flash Thompson, who became the heroic Agent Venom.
Oh, I see some of these designs are directly in the third Venom movie, Venom Last Dance, I'm pretty sure it's called.
Yeah,
so this is what it was referencing.
Scream from the live action. I haven't seen the later movies, but I know they took some of the other Venom symbiote, not Venom, other symbiotes.
Oh, that's cool. But so we have a lot of different variations with different abilities. I guess that's just how the symbiote works. Like they just have their own individual qualities to them, or is it like dependent on who they bond with?
All the symbiotes kind of have their own personalities, but they are largely driven by who they're bonded with. And you can see even with like Venom has a lot of like attachment still for Pete, but Eddie Brock has always been his like best host. So even with the other host, there's always kind of those attachments for both Pete and Eddie.
I mean, Eddie's a good boyfriend, so like he wouldn't cheat on him for anybody else.
Yeah.
Over the years, Venom has spawned numerous offspring, including the notorious Carnage.
Yeah.
The Venom symbiote can form.
We got to get Carnage in Marvel Rivals at some point. That would be cool.
Tentacles and shapeshift into clothing or other people.
Fun thing about Carnage versus like Venom is so Venom and most of the symbiotes view themselves as separate identities from their host, right? That's the like we are Venom. Carnage and Butch Cassidy, is that his name?
Wasn't it the serial killer or something like that?
Yeah, serial killer, the guy that he ended up bonding with. They just are so intrinsically unstable together
they
that
dislike
Carnage
each other
refers
immensely.
to himself as I.
Yeah. They were not a good bond with each other, that's for sure. Or at least that's my impression from the movies.
In comics, they're, like I said, they're basically kind of just the same level of unstable, that they just are a walking disaster.
When we talk about like Venom's offspring, does it literally happen when like a bit of Venom's symbiote gets left behind and then it attaches to somebody else and grows into its own thing? Is that how that works?
Not quite, but kind of. It's a basically an asexual reproduction of the symbiotes. So it does kind of look like just a bit of sludge being left behind, but it's not just like I accidentally left a little piece of Venom here and it went off and became its own thing.
Gotcha. That's unfortunate. Venom is packing 19 inches and he can't get to use it. That's tragic.
He can use it. That's just not how he has children.
Good to know.
Is their strength, durability, and
important
agility,
lore,
often even surpassing Spider-Man's capabilities. Despite its strength, the symbiote remains vulnerable to sound, heat-based attacks, and anti-venom. His anti-venom variant is inspired by the anti-venom symbiote, which was introduced in the comic The Amazing Spider-Man number 569, published in 1999. Anti-Venom is a heroic counterpart to Venom, created when
Heroic?
remnants of the Venom symbiote left in Eddie Brock's body were fused with his white blood cells during a cancer treatment by Martin Lee. This
Oh.
accidental fusion resulted in a new, white symbiote with unique properties. Unlike Venom, Anti-Venom is entirely mindless, giving Eddie
I was
full
gonna say,
control over its
Anti-Venom is
actions.
different from the other symbiotes. But, yeah.
You could say that he's the complete opposite of them. Really?
I suppose.
Anti-Venom can cure diseases, purge toxins, and cleanse other symbiotes from hosts using its antibody-like powers. His Cyan Clash variant is a
Okay, so that's where the name comes from. It's just straight up an antibody because of the white blood cells. That's a neat concept. Is that just a story and then we didn't really pick it up after that? Or is that something that he can turn into?
Anti-Venom is one of those that was introduced, as part of like a storyline specific
Mhm.
situation, but he has shown up a few times in comics. But it was pretty regulated, to that event.
Okay. So it's like a cool thing that has happened to Eddie at some point, but it's not like an active ability that he can switch from Venom to Anti-Venom or anything like that.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
rival's original cyan recoloring of the character, while his Hyper Orange variant is a rival's
They
original
don't mention it in this
orange
video,
recolor.
but these are actually references to the Marvel vs. Capcom, because those were Venom's alternate skin
Ooh.
colors.
Ooh, speaking of Marvel vs. Capcom, I did purchase Marvel vs. Capcom 3 after learning about the
Oh.
Mega Man lore. It's another fighting game?
I had that game as a kid. It's fun.
What? Wait! Oh god, Servi. That's another fighting game that
What?
we're gonna have to play with each other.
I'd have to buy it again because we had it for the 360. But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed that game.
That's unfortunate because I think the sale probably ended like a few days ago. Well, we can pick it up at some
Probably.
point again.
We'll
Yeah.
figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely would play it again.
His lingering imprint variant is inspired by Venom's appearance in Venom number 8, published in 2018. In that story, after consuming a codex containing Flash Thompson's personality, Venom and Eddie briefly turn into Agent Venom, giving the
Wait. So. Whoa. Okay, when we learned about this in the cosmology video, you said it was Flash Thompson. But technically speaking.
Agent Venom is Flash Thompson. This is a slightly different take on that. Yeah.
Oh! Okay, wait. Whoa! The Flash Thompsonception. It goes.
Yeah.
Goes places. So in this version, it's still Eddie Brock, it's still Venom, but it's just Flash Thompson flashed onto Eddie Brock and Venom, I guess.
Yeah. Comic book
Wow.
shenanigans. But it's
Wow.
basically the two of them influenced by Flash Thompson's Agent Venom.
Okay, comic books. That's a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
character a new design. His Space Knight variant comes from the Venom Space Knight line of comics, which began publishing in 2015. In that story, Flash Thompson,
Goblins.
determined to be a hero despite losing both legs in military service, bonded with the Venom symbiote, which acted as a body morphing suit, allowing him to walk and fight again. His commitment to protect and serve eventually
That's
led
useful.
him to join the Guardians of the Galaxy, expanding
Oh.
his efforts to help others beyond Earth.
That's cool.
His Snow symbiote variant is a blue and white winter-inspired look
That's
for the
such
character.
a cool costume.
It is.
I love the skin.
Bucky.
James Buchanan
Again!
Bucky Barnes first appeared in Captain America Comics #1 in 1941 as Captain America's teenage sidekick. Created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, Bucky's name and costume have been adopted by other characters throughout Marvel's history.
Yeah, this was I'm assuming this is like we need to add a child sidekick so that children reading the comics can feel like they're being represented and can feel like they can be a part of it.
Kind of that Robin archetype.
Okay, yeah. But it's also really messed up what happens to him. So
Honestly, they changed in the MCU. They made him older and like a friend of
yeah,
Steve's,
a friend, not a
as
child
opposed
going
that
to
young
war.
sidekick.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's not a bad representation of Winter Soldier.
I mean, considering the context of it, I'm kind of okay with the change. Yeah.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm not a huge fan of just the like child psychic trope. I don't know. Like I like later when you have like kids with superpowers who need some sort of mentorship, right? So you have like the young hero teams.
The
But
Teen
when you
Titans.
just kind of
yeah.
have a kid that you take along with you as your like little sidekick, I don't
Yeah.
know, that's a little odd to me.
Mr. Incredible kicked out the kid that was a part of his fan club for a reason. Even though the kid didn't understand, and that led to a whole bunch of things. But, you know,
Yeah.
he knows what's up. And I think even in the Dark Knight trilogy, they changed Robin to be an adult, too, for that one. Granted, he wasn't really a part of it. He was just more like a cameo at the end of the
See, I
third
don't
movie.
even remember him being in those movies. Which I think I
no.
saw all three of them. I don't remember.
Well, basically, he's like a police officer, and then he picks up the
Okay.
mantle for Batman after he leaves. But
Which Robin is it?
that I do not know. His name is literally well, actually, no, that was like his middle name. I forget his actual name, but yeah,
No,
he's an adult there.
My favorite has always been Dick Grayson. I love Nightwing.
I know a lot of people are fans of Nightwing.
I mean, it's hard not to be.
Yeah, right.
After being presumed dead, Bucky was reintroduced as the Winter Soldier, a brainwashed assassin and cyborg used by Soviet
Poor
forces.
guy.
Eventually, his memories and identity were restored, and he evolved into a hero seeking redemption for his past actions. The Winter Soldier was enhanced by the perfected Infinity Formula, making him far
The what?
stronger, faster, and more durable than ordinary humans. His enhanced healing factor allows him to recover from injuries rapidly, while his bionic arm gives him the ability to perform feats like breaking steel and generating electrical discharges. Additionally, the Infinity Formula
I need to ask, is the tentacle arm thing in the comics, or is that just a Marvel Rivals thing?
I don't know it from the comics, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's drawn from something in them.
It still cracks me up every single time whenever Venom and Bucky talk to each other, and Venom's like, leave the tentacle business to the professionals.
I like the tentacle arm, though. It's cool.
It's a neat ability. And I hate when I'm on the receiving end of that.
I mean, it makes sense, too, because Hydra.
Oh, yeah, true. You're right. They love their tentacles.
his aging,
Yeah.
preserving his youth and extending his lifespan. His Navy Trooper variant is a Navy Blue Rivals original recoloring of the character. His Blood Soldier variant is a Rivals original, and the description seems to infer Bucky using the
This is
outfit
such a
to go
cool costume, but I don't think it looks like Bucky.
From the back, it looks like Virgil. Kind of.
It does have Virgil vibes, honestly.
undercover
Like,
to
it's
fight
cool.
vampires.
Yeah.
His Revolution
very
skin comes
different.
from his alter ego, Revolution, which comes from the Captain America Sentinel of Liberty line of comics. In the story, Bucky Barnes infiltrates a secretive, Illuminati-like group known as the Outer Circle, a shadow organization which had been manipulating world events for decades. He assumes the persona of Revolution, one of the 5 key positions in the group, with the goal of dismantling the organization from within.
That skin, I feel like it's a bit underwhelming, honestly. Especially the MVP animation for that one. It's just like him cracking his
Oh,
knuckles
yeah.
and sitting on the chair. Like, yeah, okay.
Wolverine first appeared in the final panel of The Incredible Hulk number 180 and made a
Final
more
panel?
significant appearance in The Incredible Hulk number 181 in 1974.
Okay.
The
It's
character
like a
was
sneak
created by Len Wein. Originally born James Howlett in the late 19th century, Wolverine is a mutant with enhanced healing, senses, and bone claws. After his powers manifested, he adopted the name Logan and spent years wandering, his life marked by war, betrayal, and conflict with his archenemy, Sabretooth.
Sabretooth is his brother, right?
I don't know. I'm not a Wolverine fan, so
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. I feel like they've had a few run-ins with each other.
I mean, they're the character. Like when you think Wolverine, you think Sabretooth, but I don't know the details of them.
As a result of being part of the Weapon X program, Logan had his bones coated with indestructible adamantium, making him even deadlier. He later joined Canada's Department H as Wolverine before being recruited by Charles Xavier to join the X-Men. Wolverine also became a key member of the Avengers, led X-Force, and reformed the Jean Grey School to lead his own faction of X-Men. Wolverine is a gruff, independent loner with a strong sense of personal honor and a
Tiny
wild,
guy.
animalistic nature. Known for his savage berserker rage, he is one of the most
angry,
fearless
hairy
and
man.
dangerous men in the world. He formed close bonds with teammates Nightcrawler and Colossus and served as a father figure to several characters, such as
Nightcrawler
Rogue,
in
X-23
Rivals so bad.
That would be cool. Although, we'd have to figure out how his teleporting abilities would go.
and Jubilee. Despite his rough exterior, Wolverine has had deep relationships with many women, such as Rose.
This is, I wonder, why? I don't know anything about the comics. I just know that Wolverine basically gets it all with pretty much everybody at some point. How? Do they all just love the Short King so much?
I guess. I don't know.
What a guy. What are his secrets?
It's Viper, Silver Fox, Phoenix, and Mariko. However, he only truly trusted a few people: Captain America, Nick Fury, Jean Grey, and Spider-Man. His Lone Wolf variant is a
Spider-Man.
Rivals
I feel like
original
Captain
recoloring.
America and Spider-Man are those characters that are pretty much always on the right side. So it's hard not to trust them a little bit.
They have very strong moral compasses when it comes to these kind of things. So, yeah.
Adding a red, gray, and white color scheme. His Blood Berserker variant is a Rivals original which he wears to battle Dracula and his horde. His Deadpool and Wolverine variant is inspired by his appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe film of the same name, which is clearly inspired by his iconic blue and yellow comic appearance.
It was really
which
cool when
first
they pulled
appeared
out the
in
OG
Incredible Hulk
design.
number 180 in 1974.
Like, I'm not a comic book fan, but I can only imagine how hyped people would have been seeing that appear in the movie. Finally, after all these years of him just wearing regular outfits.
It's funny because the original Deadpool movie actually was pretty groundbreaking for a lot of the things that it did. But one of the things that really did a lot for comic book movies going forward was the comic accurate costume and having the like white but emotive eyes.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
sounds silly, but no comic book movie before it had that. You had just the expressive comic book eyes, because that's not realistic, right?
Yeah.
But it's something that is in every comic book, right? When you have their eyes covered. And so even like in the MCU with like Spider-Man with the lenses, they got creative so that they can make his face expressive. They tried to make it, more realistic, quote unquote. But they gave him the expressive comic book eyes, and that is so huge.
I find that it is a added level that is very much appreciated, but I can see why some of the older movies didn't want to try that.
But you have limitations of, technology at the
Yeah.
time. At that point, when Deadpool came out, it was definitely something that they could have done in like the MCU and other things. But like I said, it was considered, unrealistic, because it is. But
It's a
does
comic
so
book movie.
much. When you have a face that's covered, being able to emote is something that you just lose. Which is why they do it in the comics, right? But it's so important. And so the solution has always been just take off the helmet, right? Or take off the mask and all that. And
hate
you
that
also
so
have
much.
the actors wanting to show their face and everything, which, yeah, sure. But having the expressive eyes through the mask, it does so much.
Yes. I much prefer, it might not be realistic, but it's a comic book movie. It's superheroes. They're wearing their mask and being able to emote. It's pretty cool. But when you make the decision to let's unmask this character that canonically never takes off their mask because, we want to show the face of the actor, and so that they can emote and do their acting thing. And it just ruins the entire experience for all the fans who've been waiting for this series. Well,
there's some characters like Spider-Man that just would never work for, right?
Yeah.
And so
It's his
they
whole
have
shtick.
scenes where they have him taking the mask off when he's being all depressed or something. But it's when he's being Spider-Man, the mask is on. And so when you don't have those expressive eyes, because in the comics, he has very expressive eyes.
Yeah.
You really just lose such a layer of depth in the character.
And I can also understand another point where it's very difficult for actors to act without being able to show their face. That is a completely different skill set because you have to utilize so many other things apart from just your facial expression.
It's just
So
body language, yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of reasons, but ultimately, I'm glad that the Deadpool movies were able to achieve that, and they were able to get Wolverine in his actual costume. It just worked out so beautifully in the movie they had together.
Getting to see the fun blue and yellow.
Yeah,
It is a choice,
very
but
much
it
so.
is classic. The classic X-Men, like blue and yellows.
Mm-hmm. I would not wear that public outfit out in public, but yeah.
No.
And that, dear friends, is the lore behind every single Marvel Rivals variant. If you liked this video, please consider dropping it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like
quite the
this.
undertaking.
Thank you so much for watching.
Very much, yeah.
Definitely
I'm
go
looking
support his
forward
video.
to the next video with all of you.
But all right, I can't wait to get to the Psylocke lore. That's for sure.
Yeah. I assume we'll probably do that next.
Maybe we could also do the Spider-Man one. I guess it depends.
We'll see. The Spider-Man's a lot longer.
Oh, I can only imagine. He seems to be an OG character that has a lot more history. But yeah, dudes, that's going to be it from us today. Apologies if some of our yapping sessions were a little long. I just wanted to learn a lot more today. I was in the learning mood for some reason.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't have as much to say on some of these characters, but
well,
we'll
you
look
don't
to you
know
in the comments for all your guys' information.
Yeah, let us know. And we can always do separate videos on them, diving deeper into their characters.
Mm-hmm.
So
Definitely.
look forward to that. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you in the next one. Later, dudes.
Bye-bye.